Jazakallah khair, Shaykh. In terms of the prohibition of fasting on Saturday, is that to single out Saturday for voluntary fast? Or is someone allowed to fast, for example, Ashura, if they add the Sunday or the Friday to it, if that makes sense?
I think you were not listening carefully. I said there are three opinions.
Yeah.
Opinion
Yeah.
one, you could fast Saturday.
Yeah.
Opinion two, that you may not fast Saturday unless with the day before or day after.
Yeah.
Opinion number three, you may not fast Saturday whatsoever involuntary. And that opinion is, for me, stronger than the other two because of the hadith of the Prophet of Allah, which is authentic. لا تصوموا يوم السبت. Don't fast Saturday unless it is obligatory upon you. What more do you want? Not only that, let's say that you don't have anything to break your fast with. You happen to be on Saturday and no food. Take a wooden stick, Prophet said, or a skin of a grape, chew onto it to break your fast. So if it is the case, then I will abide with this hadith. But I do understand the other scholars' opinion as well, and I respect them. And I respect the person if he took that opinion with the proof. But if you took the opinion just simply because you want to go against so-and-so, because of politics, then you're going to be sinned. Remember that. Allah will know what is going into your heart, into your mind. The other scholars, they deem it to be okay to fast Saturday because of number of ahadiths. Some of them are authentic and some of them are unauthentic. From the unauthentic ahadith is that the Prophet of Allah, he used to fast Saturday all the time and Sunday to oppose the Christians and the Jews. That hadith is unauthentic. From the ahadith which is authentic, that will make fasting Saturday look like it is permissible in the voluntary, is that don't fast Friday except if you fast a day before or a day after. A day after means what? Saturday. But some of the scholars had solved that query, either by one of the two, this quiz. Either they said that we apply the principle. What is the principle here? That is, there's a hadith says do, and the hadith says don't do. The don't do takes precedence over the do. A hadith says green light allowed, and a hadith says it's not allowed red light. Red light takes precedence over the green light, even traffic lights as well. The red light takes a precedence over the green light. So there's a red light. Why? Because of number of proofs for that. Islam, when he came to make things, some of them to be haram. They were halal. They were eating the dead animals, and Islam made it haram to eat animals. So he made things haram, they were halal. But if Allah made halal something after he made haram, then it will be shown. Like for example, Prophet of Allah said, verily I prohibited you from visiting the graves, but now I am commanding you to visit the graves. So he made something halal after he made it what? Haram. So this is the hadith, and also another hadith which is authentic regarding Saturday. Hadith Juwayriyah, the wife of the Prophet of Allah. When she became the wife of the Prophet of Allah, she fasted, and she was a ascetic woman. She used to make qiyam and fast. She fasted Friday. Prophet of Allah passes by her on Friday, and he gives her something to eat. She said, Messenger of Allah, I'm fasting. He said to her, did you fast yesterday? She said to him, no. He said, are you going to fast tomorrow? What is tomorrow? Saturday. She said, no. And then break your fast. Then what? Break your fast. So that shows us that if she said yes, then the Prophet of Allah would say to her, what? Continue your fast, no problem. Don't break your fast, because you're going to add the day with it.
Okay. And that would have been Saturday.
Well, add the day. So
it would have been Saturday though, right?
Yes. So if he said to you, yes, for tomorrow. Again the hadith. She was fasting on Friday. Prophet didn't know. She said, I'm fasting. Said, did you fast yesterday? She said, no. So if she said yes, he would say to her, continue the fast, isn't it? Are you going to fast? She said, no. Are you going to fast tomorrow? She said, no. If she said yes, he would say to her, continue the fast. She said, no. But now, if she said yes, that means fasting Saturday is allowed. That hadith as well tackled in the following way. Either we say that the prohibition came later to prohibit the Saturday. That's one, according to scholars. Or number two, which is a said prohibition. Number two is that it is a single case which we can really add to the four cases where it is obligatory. A person fasted Friday without him knowing, he can't single out Friday in voluntary fast. Then after he finished the fast of Friday, we say to him, sorry, you can't single out Friday, you have to fast what? Saturday becomes compulsory on you. So this is a case where we could gather with all the hadith. So, that is an answer for your question, inshallah. You have another question?
Sheikh, I was going to ask you about the difference of opinion on narrations where some scholars say, okay, a specific narration is sahih and a specific narration is da'if. So let's say a scholar says, like, for example, I don't know, wiping your hands over your face when you're making dua.
It's sahih.
It's sahih. And one says, no, it's da'if. So what do you say to the brothers that follow a specific sheikh and he comes over to you?
Just like you follow a specific sheikh as well.
It tells
Don't forget that you follow a specific sheikh as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, okay? So when he comes over to you and tells you that it is a bid'ah, is it really a bid'ah?
Okay. The question is to say that the person will say that, a particular issue, let's say for example, wiping the face with your hand after the dua. So if I bring this person and say to this hadith is not authentic, another person says, no, the hadith has been authenticated by another scholar, what should we do in this case? Right. Either these two who are having this argument, and I call it argument, are people of knowledge, or are people of ignorance, or one of them ignorant, one of them knowledgeable. Is there any other possibility?
Both ignorant.
I used to be mathematics, so this is the possibility. Either both of them are knowledgeable, or both of them ignorant, or one of them ignorant, and one of them what? Knowledgeable. Regardless of whom he holds the opinion. One of them ignorant. Right. If both are knowledgeable people, then they will discuss it further. Okay, the knowledgeable person would say to you, okay, bring me the hadith that you say is authentic. The other one would say, bring me the hadith you say is unauthentic. They will see, and they will, talk to each other. If both of them convince on one opinion, alhamdulillah. If they did not, each one will have his own ijtihad, and no problem. But if they are too ignorant, these two ignorants, now, this person who said this hadith is authentic, who said it's authentic for him? And this hadith who said it's unauthentic, and he's ignorant, who said that to him? Now we're going to ask, is it a person, because he's ignorant, he can't really himself check if it's authentic himself, can he? But he's going to now work out with who is famous from the scholars who said it's authentic. So if, for example, who said it's authentic and this is unauthentic? Oh, Shaykh al-Albani. You, who said it's authentic? And by this hadith, which is you said, the wipe in the face, he said, Shushu. Shushu, I don't know him. Even I'm ignorant, I never heard of him. What does he sell, potatoes or cucumbers? What does he do? So, Shaykh al-Albani is well known. Who's your Shaykh? If it gives you, for example, let's say from the old ones, that's good. But tell him now, I got the book. And the old one is being discussed by the new one. He's studying that the old one, he made a mistake in that particular issue. So tell him. If he's willing to listen, he will listen. But if he's willing to still argue, then brother, those people, they are never going to be stopped except by ignoring them. You just ignore them because you don't want to go and have a fight. Either he wants to be convinced, Islamically with one proof, but if he's stubborn, even if you bring in Muhammad he will not listen. You bring in proof after proof after proof, he won't listen because he adopted one opinion. It's not like this. And he would say to you, are you more knowledgeable than so and so? I'm not, brother, I'm ignorant. But bring you the knowledgeable people who said that. Allah al-Musta'an. But I'll tell you what, in most of the cases, who says to you that it's on a thing on them, they don't have the proof. They have been injected with it. Somebody had brainwashed them with it. Go and discuss it with them. Like for example, one person who is well-known celebrity now. I'm not going to mention his name, but you are welcome to ask me the name later on, but not on the camera. Well-known celebrity. He was like you sitting in a class, just like you. And we were talking about the salah and hand in hand, putting the hand right on the left, on the chest, and the hadith of the navel, which is below the navel, is a hadith of Ali ibn Abi Talib, which is unauthentic. So this person, he says, well, he comes with nice and mashallah. He said, I think, no, this hadith is authentic. I said, who authenticated it? He says, Al-Imam An-Nawawi. He said, Imam An-Nawawi, no way I authenticated this hadith. Show me. I said, I've got the book. So I went to him, to his own masjid where he leads the prayer. So he pulled the book, which is in English, it's in Arabic. And he says, look, Imam An-Nawawi. I looked properly. It's Nimawi, N-I-M-A-W-I. It's a Hanafi well-known scholar. It's not Nawawi. So brother, you made a mistake, it's not Nawawi, it's Nimawi. Oh, yeah, he didn't know. He didn't know. So Imam Nimawi, that's nothing to do with the hadith. Imam Nawawi did not make that hadith as authentic. He accepted, but still he puts his hand on the navel. Allah al-Musta'an, this is called, I don't know what it's called. You call it blind following. I call it blind following. But as I said to you, this is what the people, they sometimes they think they got the proof, but they haven't got the proof. The other possibility is one knowledgeable and one not knowledgeable. The knowledgeable person is the one should be given, and the one who is not knowledgeable should be taken. Not vice versa. The knowledgeable, not ignorance, so give ignorance, and the knowledgeable they're going to take is ignorance. That person should be listening to that person. Brother, I am knowledgeable, and you know that I'm more than you knowledgeable. Take that. This is what I know that you're saying to me that the opinion of such and such, but I'm telling you that the opinion of such and such is wrong, because I know and I discussed that. Right? I haven't got even to more possibilities. Even the knowledgeable people are of categories. They are students of knowledge or scholars. They could be. They're categories as well. But I'm just saying in general. So if you are with the other person, brothers, always bring the scholars who had said authentic or not authentic. And number two, the person who you are debating with, is he a person willing to listen? Or he wants to go and charge and get like a bull? And that is why when they came to Ishaq ibn Rahawayh, told him about a person. He said, this person, verily, he denies the punishment of the grave. Now that person is a secularist, a person who doesn't really want to listen, قال Allah, قال رسوله. So what is Ishaq ibn Rahawayh, the scholar, is going to debate with him about? So what did he say? Well, tomorrow he will die and he will taste that punishment. That's my answer. I'm not going to go and debate with him to say that, whether it's exists or not exists, because he's not going to listen. You bring him a proof, I don't believe. And that is as well another story which I bring to my students of knowledge. And I tell them that a story which happened between a teacher, who is mashallah, and a student whom think he's smart. You remember that? The answer? Well, this teacher is a religious teacher, and the student who thinks he's smart, he is a secularist person. So he says to him, you are shuyukh, old-fashioned believers. Huh? Believers. And for him, belief is a stupid thing. And before I continue the story, I don't want to forget my story, the new one here, just coming to my mind. These arguments, which we call it arguments that demolish itself. The argument demolishes itself. One day I was with the Sheikh Al-Halawi, Hafidhahullah, in Speaker's Corner. He wanted to see. This is like a fascinating thing. He's never seen something like this. People arguing. It's something, there's no replica for it in the world. Where people shouting, people, people saying all sorts of things. But always the Islamic corner is the one which is what? Got lots of people. Buzzing. It's always buzzing. So this person, he wants to pull away people from the Islam, the Muslims. So he looks shaitan. Wal'iyadu billah. He looks shaitan. So he's saying to the people, people, you are belief, unbelief. Belief is a stupid thing. somebody's got a belief, he is stupid. And he's well dressed up but looks evil with his eye. So the brothers brought me to confront him with him. And the Sheikh Al-Hadi doesn't understand English. And I'm talking. He said, belief is a stupid thing. Now I remember I was listening to one of the lectures to a person called Gary Miller. Now Gary Miller, regardless of what he is, but he's got some logic. So I remember, I learned something from him to demolish his argument by himself. So he's saying, belief is something stupid. I said, excuse me, sir, do you believe in your belief? That belief is stupid. And everybody was laughing. Do you understand what I said? Do you believe in your belief? That belief is a stupid, because if you said yes, you are stupid. He didn't say, Wallahi, he didn't say a word. Knock out. And everybody around him laughing. Do you believe it? If you believe it, you're stupid as well, because you have a belief. Because you had a belief, that belief is stupid, that means you had a belief, you're stupid as well. Allahul Musta'an. And I learned it from Gary Miller. I have to really attribute the person, Jazakallah khairan, for that. Coming back to our story. So this student is telling the teacher, you shuyukh, old-fashioned, you believe Allah exists. Show me Allah. Because you believe in materialistic. And you believe that shaitan will be tortured in the hellfire. Well, shaitan is made of the fire. How can the fire torture fire? You believe there is qadr, decree, destiny. There's no rakah, there's no fate, there's no qadr. It's what you do. So the teacher slaps him in his face. He says, you've given up. I said, no, this is the answer of your 3 questions. I started to explain to him. Okay, tell me, what did you feel when I slapped you in your face? He said, pain. He said, show me what is the pain. Mr. Pain, what is he, please? You felt the pain, but what is Mr. Pain? You know what it is, but you don't show me him. What is he, pain? Mr. Pain, what is he? It's Allah. You feel him, but you can't see him. Right. My hand and your face, I'm not going to argue with you, was it made of mud or it's made from the same thing. But my hand gave pain to your face. Same thing. The fire will give pain as well to the fire. He's made of fire. But when you say made of fire, it doesn't mean shaitan, like it's a fire moving, as people would think. A flame of fire, it was moving. It's like we are made of what? Sand, clay, yeah? Have we got mud in our hands? I don't see any mud or clay. Flesh and bones and blood and so this is third one. He said to him, okay, did you expect that I was going to hit you? He said, no. He said, did you dream that I was going to hit you? He said, no. He said, this is destiny. This is qadarullah. He said, no, fate. This is a fate. So he gave it up. Wallahu a'lam. Jazakumullah khair. Have any questions? Further.
Back home in Algeria on the Ashura day, in the countryside, what they do, they slaughter veals and they spread it to every family.
Any rituals which is done on Ashura, which I've said, even some of the people, they say that we should give money and bring presents. Call it tawsi'ah fi yawmi Ashura. It's not from the Sunnah, it's a bid'ah. And the Sunnah is to only do it during the days of Eid, Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha.
And when they bring us the meat, what do I do with it?
That meat, you should give it back to them. To make them understand that this occasion is not right. But if it's being put for you, that meat, onto your house, and you don't know who had sent it to you, you may not throw that meat. You have to eat it as long as you know it's halal.
Yeah.
You understand me? But if you know who has given it to you, you have to return it back and go to them. It's not right. There's no meat in this occasion. Now,
just a question regarding Tasu'a. Now, is it like recommended to fast, because the Ashura is going to be on the Saturday, and if you if you believe that Saturday you're not allowed to
Can you fast Tasu'a?
Yeah, is it recommended? Isn't there anything special about it?
What's the sunnah?
The question is, because he's adapting the opinion that there is no voluntary fast on Saturday, which is the 10th, can we fast the 9th?
Ah,
Do you understand that?
which is
Right.
Or the,
We will understand the answer to this question, which is a very good question, is what was the reason of fasting the 9th? Is it the day upon which Allah had saved Musa alayhi salam? No. What was the reason?
to be different.
To be different from the Jews. Now, when you don't fast the 10th, you're not imitating the Jews anyway, because it's Saturday. So there's no point of fasting the 9th because you're already different from the Jews.
Plus it's Friday.
And I'll tell you what, you're asking me, does the Jews fast this day today?
Yeah, that's well, subhanAllah, he just took it from my mind. Subhanallah.
I am not Pir Sahib, am I? Do they fast it until today? Well, I'll tell you what, it is in their Talmud, but they have been misguided from that day. They're using solar system to calculate for their 10th of Muharram. And that's why they lost it. The 10th of Muharram is the lunar system, the lunar months. And I'm telling the brothers the importance to hold on to our Islamic date and our lunar months, which unfortunately the Muslims, they don't know anything about it except when it comes to Ramadan. Oh, it's Ramadan, then they know. Some of the people, they don't know when was the Muharram, when does the Muharram finish, and when they don't know anything. They only know about February, January, March and April. They don't know about the Islamic dates. Allahul Musta'an. Even if I tell anybody to tell me his date of birth in Islam, anybody can give me the date of birth in Islam? Come on, anybody. Islamic.
I did look into it.
I've given it that mission maybe
You're gonna
before.
need special software as well.
Like he's doing it on Googling it.
He's cheating, yeah.
I know he's cheating. You can't, nobody can.
I'm actually
One day,
actually-
I think I was in here or somewhere else. I think
He
somewhere
done
else.
it here and you asked the Saudi guy.
And the Saudi guy, was here, I was in Saudi. And I said no. And I think I gave £10 for something. He said, I know. He was Saudi Arabian, I remember he was here.
Yeah.
And I said, no, Saudi's excluded. When you lose the touch, you're going to lose a lot. The Jews lost the 10th. They've been misguided from that day. So don't misguide as well ourselves by not being in touch with Islamic date. It's a bid'ah to use the calendar of the Christians. A bid'ah. It's from the prohibited things. We only use it because we need to use it. But if we don't need to use it, why are you using it? Okay, using it for paying the bills, for talking, because you can't talk, for example, on the, if you're paying your water bill, I'm going to pay it by the 10th of Muharram. What? 1436. It is what? We are in 2015, you are what? 700 years before. So they will not listen to you. So you're in need of it, like we are in need of insurance to do the car, otherwise insurance is haram. So, but if you don't need to use it, don't use it. So in Islam, for example, you're writing a letter or something, use Islamic date only. Islamic date. Get used to that Islamic date. Now. Fadal.
We're talking about Abu Darda earlier on. You said لا تنام على وتر.
لا تنام إلا وقد لا تنام إلا على وتر يعني إلا وقد صليت الوتر.
يعني هي ما تنامش حتى تصلي الوتر.
I said, don't sleep until that means.
واللي ينوض يقوم الليل ولا كيف؟
No, you don't understand that means. That means don't sleep the whole of the night without praying the witr.
okay.
That means don't miss the witr before Fajr. Whereas, because of Darda, you remember, Salman al-Farisi told him to sleep. He told him, sleep, and then at the end of the night, just in the last 10th of the night, before the Fajr, he said, go, now you pray. So they prayed. They prayed, Salaya Jami'an, they prayed together. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair. Okay, subhanakallah wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Allahu khairan fil islam. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin.